Hello everyone, it's Danzy. The usual heads up that this review contains critical analysis. If hearing negative thoughts about the show is something you dislike, then no worries. But I recommend that you give my review videos a pass and check out my other content instead. With that out of the way and a shiny new microphone in hand, let's begin. This is easily my new favorite scene of the season so far. Not only was it great on its own merits, but it was also a fairly close version of what happened in the books. Aesthetically, everything was beautiful, from the armor to the setting. The dialogue for the parlay was well written, and the acting on behalf of these two was engaging. My only minor complaint was Bronn being shoehorned in, because, let's face it, he didn't really need to be there, but even that wasn't a deal breaker for me. I mean, this doesn't change that Jaime's characterization is still a hot mess and has been for a while, but at this point, I'll take it. Honestly, finding a good, accurately depicted scene from the books these days is like witnessing the birth of a unicorn. I'm going to hang on to this rare and marvelous gift for as long as I can, and just block his storyline from this point until now from my memory. This was a pretty short scene, but I did want to touch on it really briefly. It had a lot of good suspense and was really well directed, but I'm not buying into these weird theories I'm seeing floating around the internet though. I think Arya getting stabbed by the waif really was just, Arya getting stabbed by the waif. Although you're a pretty bad assassin if you don't even check to make sure your target is dead. Like, yeah, maybe you should be feeling insecure about your position. Here's the thing, the art direction for this was lovely, and Ian McShane gave a really great performance. I've never really gotten on board with the hype surrounding Sandor, but I will admit that it was nice to see him back. However, I feel like they didn't really know what they wanted to get across to the audience here. We get a nice and thematically on point from the book's speech about war being extremely shitty for everyone involved, and that it's never too late to stop the cycle of violence. But this entire message is subverted by the Hound going off at the end to presumably continue the cycle of violence. So, what exactly did he learn from all this as a character? That it's okay to seek revenge for nice people that fed you, but not for a personal vendetta? Because the Septon's speech doesn't really condone either. Is it that the peaceful are doomed to never make it in this world? I mean, I guess, but we didn't really need a monologue for that. There must have been something that they wanted to get across here, because these scenes took up a whopping 11 minutes of the episode, and got a pre-credits open, but whatever it was got completely lost. Okay, Baby Mormont, it's one thing if you don't want to help Jon because he's a bastard, and Sansa because she's married into the enemies twice, but why are you just shrugging off Rickon being captured? You wrote a letter last season saying that you only serve the king in the north whose name is Stark, and Rickon is Robb's legitimate heir. This makes me increasingly suspicious that they're just gonna kill Rickon, because zero regard is already being given towards his way stronger claim of the north. Also, why is Davos the one who finally convinces her to back the Starks? In fact, why is Davos even here at all? I get that they're trying to give him something to do, but let poor Sansa and Jon be key players in their own storyline. They weren't able to get a single piece of support without the help of someone else, but this is such a perfect time to show us that these two characters have grown so much over the years from their experience. I want to see how Jon's time as Lord Commander taught him what it means to be a leader. I want to see that Sansa has become more politically savvy from her time at court. They have all the skills they need to do this. The empowering moments of convincing people to join their cause shouldn't be given to Davos and Tormund. The dialogue between Yara and Theon was, well, frustrating on a couple levels for me. In the behind the episode, they labeled this as her giving him the tough love that he needs to finally snap back into being the old Theon. But this just isn't how trauma works. If overcoming years of mutilation and abuse was as simple as having someone tell you to suck it up, then there wouldn't be a single traumatized person in existence. In some ways, I absolutely understand what they're saying. The Ironborn are based off of Viking culture that wouldn't have anything anywhere near close to modern therapy. Fine, I get that. But no matter the setting, verbally abusing someone to get over their PSD works about as well as kicking someone in the shin to get over their broken leg. They're passing something completely counterproductive off as totally viable, and it just isn't realistic or good character development. Even if she had been more sympathetic in her approach, from a storytelling perspective, what was the point of Theon going through what happened with Ramsay if he's just gonna get over it like it was a mild inconvenience? It undercuts his entire arc. It feels like they're taking the quick and lazy route out, because they think Theon's post-torture state of mind would be too much of a hindrance to the upcoming plot. Okay, I really just need to come out and say it, guys. These scenes are getting aggressively boring and repetitive. We continue to cycle through the same thing of Cersei butting heads with everyone else, the High Sparrow spewing his rhetoric, and vague glimpses of Margaery setting up the dominoes for whatever plan she has. Normally this might work, but the problem is that the pacing issues for King's Landing have been out of control this season. For all the time we've spent there, literally only 2 major plot points have taken place. Margaery was freed on good terms with the Faith, and Jaime got dismissed from the Kingsguard. That's it! You could have covered all of this in like 2 episodes max. There's really no excuse for how slowly this plotline is dragging. Not when you only have 10 episodes in a season, and definitely not when other things are getting cut down because of this. With really nice cinematography and locations, this was definitely the best looking episode of the season so far. However, the plotting continues to be too slow and uneven. With the end of the season in sight, the stakes and energy levels just don't feel like they're where they need to be. So, while this episode in particular had some great things going for it, the season's momentum as a whole is going to need a shot in the arm if it wants to wrap everything up in time. That's it for now though, guys. Be sure to leave a comment with what you thought about the episode, and drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.